Welcome to lesson 2.3. So today we're going to be talking about rotations. So we're going to talk specifically about rotations of 90 degrees, 180, and 270. 90 degrees, a rotation of 90 degrees, xy becomes negative y x. Excuse me. So we're going to graph this point 3, 2. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. That's where A is. And so we're rotating this point 90 degrees. Okay. Now, you can find the exact rotation with a protractor and a compass if you needed to with that, but that is not always, sometimes you don't have those. We'll probably do a little bit of that with the guided practice just to kind of show you why this mathematically works. But you can also just memorize the shortcuts. XY becomes negative YX. Okay, so A prime is going to be negative 2, 3. So negative 2, 3, that's going to be a rotation of 90 degrees. Okay, then B is negative 4, 1. So here's B, and they want us to rotate it 90 degrees. So B prime is going to be negative 1, negative 4. And so we're going to rotate it, and so that would be negative 1, 2, 3, 4. So B prime would be right here. Now, if you notice, we're moving counterclockwise this way. So if it says clockwise, you're going to do the rotation of 270 counterclockwise. So counterclockwise, these rules, 90, 180, 270. 180 stays the same regardless if you move counterclockwise or clockwise. But if it's clockwise, 90-degree rotation is just 270 counterclockwise. And 270 clockwise is 90 degrees counterclockwise. So you would literally flip them. And we'll talk more about that in the guided practice. So let's open up. So I have negative y. So I have a rotation of 90 degrees counterclockwise. And I know that means that the y value becomes negative and you switch the x and y values. Okay. So I have the shape, the triangle. So I'm physically going to take this triangle and rotate it, turn it 90 degrees. Okay. So when I do that, A prime becomes negative 5, 1. B prime becomes negative 1, 4. And C prime becomes negative 1, 2. So now I can graph my points. So this is A prime. B prime is negative 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. And C is negative 1, 2. So this whole shape has now been rotated 90 degrees. Think about it. You're taking it and turning it 90 degrees. Okay, counterclockwise. So now let's go to the next one. So I have DEFG, this trapezoid. D prime is going to be negative 3, negative 3. E prime is going to be negative 3, 0. F prime is going to be 1, 1. And G is going to be 1, negative 4. Okay, I would highly suggest graphing these in another color just because then you can see the difference. If you use pen or pencil or black, it's going to look all the same and it may get a little confusing when you look back at this stuff. Okay, so negative 3, negative 3. So that's D prime. E is negative 3, 0. G is 1, negative 4. And F is 1, 1. And so this shape was physically rotated 90 degrees. Okay. And so that's it for 90 degrees. So now let's look at 180. So a rotation of 180 degrees, it's going to be the exact same regardless if it's counterclockwise or clockwise. It's still 180. So it's always xy becomes negative x, negative y. This also is the same as a reflection across the origin. So a reflection across the origin and a rotation of 180 degrees are actually the exact same thing. So A is 3, 2, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And B is negative 4, 1. So A prime would be negative 3, negative 2. Because think about it, I'm taking this ordered pair, I'm going to rotate it 90 and then 90. So it's going to be flipped. Okay, so negative 3, negative 2 is going to be A prime. And then B prime is going to be 4, negative 1. So I'm going to graph 4, negative 1. So B prime is over here. And if you notice, that's the same thing as a reflection across the origin. You're literally taking it and rotating it 180 degrees. So let's keep going. So A prime, we have the same shape, is going to be negative 1, negative 5. B prime is going to be negative 4, negative 1. And C prime is going to be negative 2, negative 1. Okay, so now we're literally taking this whole shape. We rotated it 90 degrees here. We're going to rotate it another 90 degrees. Okay, so it's negative 1, negative 5. So that's A prime. B is negative 4, negative 1. And C is negative 2, negative 1. So there's this shape rotating 180 degrees. And if you notice, that is the same thing as a reflection across the origin. So then the next one, D prime, is going to be 3, negative 3. E prime is going to be 0, negative 3. F prime is going to be negative 1, 1. And G prime is going to be 4, 1. So now let's graph. So D prime is 3, negative 3. So let's go to 1, 2, 3, down 1, 2, 3. So there's D prime. So think about it. I'm rotating this point 180 degrees. E is 0, negative 3. So D prime, E prime. G is 4, 1. And then F is negative 1, 1. And so there is a rotation of 180 degrees. So I'm taking the whole shape and I'm going to rotate it 180 degrees. So now the last one is a rotation of 270 degrees about the origin. So XY becomes positive Y, negative X. Okay, so A prime, if A is 3, 2, it would be 2, negative 3. And B prime would be 1, 4. Okay, so let's graph 3, 2, which is A. And so A prime is going to be 2, negative 3. And if you notice, that's a whole rotation. That's 270 degrees. Okay, and then B is negative 4, 1. And so B prime is 1, 4. If you notice from here, that's 270 degrees. Okay, and so now let's open up. So again, when we rotate counterclockwise 270 degrees, then it becomes Y, negative X. So we're still using ABC. So now this whole shape, we're going to rotate it 90, 90, and 90 again. So that's 270. It's essentially making a C. So A is 1, 5. So A prime is going to be 5, negative 1. B prime is going to be 1, negative 4. And C prime is going to be 1, negative 2. Okay, so A prime is 5, negative 1. B prime is 1, negative 4. And C is 1, negative 2. So B prime, C prime. If you look, we took this whole shape, 90, 90, 90. Okay, so that's 270 degrees. So that's a rotation of 270 degrees. So then we have D, E, F, G. And so D is negative 3, 3. So D prime is going to be 3, 3. E prime is going to be 3, 0. F prime is going to be negative 1, negative 1. And G prime is going to be negative 1, 4. Okay, so let's graph. So we have 3, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Think about, we're taking D, this point, we're going 90, 90, 90. Okay, so D prime, E is 3, 0. So D prime, E prime. F is negative 1, 1. If you think about F, we're going 90, 90, 90. Actually, that was like really off, but 90, 90, 90. It makes the C. Okay, and then G prime is negative 1, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you think about it from here, we're going 90, 90, 90. And so it makes the full C. So our shape, the rotation of 270 degrees is right here. So that's it for lesson 2.3. Bye.